Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Shefali Singla, and in this session, we are going to have the introduction and basics of RDBMS. So, in this session, whatever concepts we are going to cover, that will be covering the theory related to the RDBMS, the rules that we need to take care of, and also we'll talk about the different types of questions that can be asked on the basis of this topic. Okay, so basically, the next 4 to 5 sessions will be behaving as the base for DBMS. So don't miss any of these sessions. Corresponding to each and every session, we will be having the quizzes in the master classes. So I'll share the link of those master classes in our official Telegram group. Link is given in the description box, so you can check it out or wait till the end of this session. I'll share my screen and show you that how you can join and from where you can join the master classes. All right, so quickly, those who have joined the session, guys, quickly give me the confirmation if the audio and the video is fine, so that without any delay we can start with the introduction and the basics of RDBMS, that is relational database management system. I hope there is no problem, there is no issue. Yeah, all right. So first of all, the very first question is what is the weightage and what are the important sources for covering the concepts of DBMS. पहली चीज बेटा आप सेशंस अटेंड कर लो बाकी यूट्यूब पे obviously each and every single concept and all the detailed notes will not be available. For that we have the super coaching, you can refer to that, or I'm sharing the reference books, you can refer to these. तो किसी भी एक बुक को पूरा पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. There are few topics that will be referring from the Nabathe. There will be some topics like the query languages. 3 units will be referring from Raghu Ramakrishnan. That is for structured query language, relational algebra, and relational calculus. Same will follow the few concepts from Koth and Ullman. Okay, so these are the reference books. Weightage of the subject is approximately 6 to 8 marks. Obviously, this is going to vary year from year, but this is just the average which is observed from the past papers. Okay. First question arises is what is a database? जब हम database management system की बात कर रहे हैं तो इसमें हमारे पास 3 terms आ रही हैं. One is the database, management and system. So first of all, database is nothing but that is a collection of interrelated data. What do I mean by this term interrelated data? That means the data related to a specific entity. For example, if I want to construct a database for a university, for that I might be interested in storing the information related to the students, to the faculty, to the admin staff, and so on. Because there are lot many people, those who are working in the organization in the university. हो सकता है हमारे पास n number of courses है. I might be interested in storing the information related to the courses. Okay, so if under the courses table I'm storing the information related to the course, for example the course ID, who is going to teach that course, and in which semester students are going to learn that course, like this complete information will be available in the database named as the course. Okay, तो interrelated data का मतलब ये होता है जो भी information आप उस particular table में store करवा रहे हो that is related to other. So data in other terms, we can say that database is a collection of interrelated data which helps in efficient retrieval, insertion and deletion of data. अब हमने क्या किया database में data को store तो करवा दिया. For what purpose we are storing the data? Because we might be interested in using that data later on. Sometimes we need to update the database. We need to insert more entries, or we might be interested in deleting the data which is already available, which is present in the database. So there are different operations that can be performed on the database, like the retrieval. That means we want to get the information from the table. इंसर्शन हमें नया डेटा ऐड करवाना है, डिलीशन एग्जिस्टिंग डेटा को डिलीट करवाना है, एंड दिस शुड बी डन इन द ऑर्गेनाइज्ड वे ताकि हम उसे कम से कम टाइम में एक्सेस कर पाए. और ये जो डेटा ऑर्गेनाइज होता है दिस इज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ टेबल्स, views, schemas, reports, etc. We'll talk about the differences between these terms. What are tables, views, schemas, and reports? Okay. Database management system is a collection of programs that enables users to create and maintain. अब ये जितने भी operations हो रहे हैं, पहले हम table create करवाते हैं, then we are storing the information, retrieving the information, deleting the information, table create करवाना है, table को drop करना है. कई बार क्या होता है, हमें सिर्फ कुछ part of data को delete करना है, कई बार we have to delete the complete table. तो ये जितनी भी information है, database cannot understand the language that we people are using. So there is a requirement of some query language. For example, अगर आपको मुझसे कुछ पूछना है, then there is a constraint. You can either ask your question in Hindi or English, because these are the languages which are understood by me. But other languages, कल को आप मुझसे French में question पूछो, Japanese में पूछो, obviously I'll not be able to understand. Same goes with the database. So हमें database की language use करनी पड़ेगी. Database से query पूछनी है. So that is the point where the query languages comes into the picture. Okay. So database basically करता है कि it stores the information about a particular enterprise. कैसे स्टोर करते हैं? By collecting the interrelated data, set of programs to access the data, an environment that is both convenient and efficient to use. Okay, I hope that till this point there is no doubt. Guys, if you are facing any problem, parallelly you can write in the chat section. I'm going through it. As this is the first session on the database, so थोड़ी सी speed को हम कम रखेंगे, but in the upcoming sessions, obviously we are going to increase it. So next comes the database management system. अभी तक हमने जो बात की, that was about the database. Now we need to handle large amount of data. तो हमारे पास दो systems हैं to handle the data. One is the file systems, जो traditional way है, and other one is the database management system. In the file systems, there can be a lot of redundancy because the data is not related. हम refer नहीं कर पा रहे. So redundancy काफी जगह पे आ गई. For example, there are 10 files. एक library की file है, एक tech shop की file है, एक accounts office की file है, where the name of the student and the address is used. Now let us assume that the address or the phone number of a student is used. So we have to make changes. We have to do the updations at all the places. But sometimes when we are doing it manually, तो कुछ जगह ऐसी होती है जहाँ पे updation करनी भूल जाते हैं या फिर छूट जाती है. So in that case, what will happen? We will be having our database in the inconsistent state. Now, what do I mean by inconsistent state? That means at different locations or from different tables, we are getting the different information, right? Similarly, sometimes there might be a problem created when we are inserting the data in one table or we are deleting the data from the another table. So these are known as the anomalies. That means on updation, deletion, and updation, insertion, deletion, and updation, the problem can be created if we have the redundant data. This is the major problem with the file systems. Also, when we are storing the same information at different places, it is going to cover more space, more memory space is required. So these are few drawbacks with the file system. So that's why we are going for the database management system. Name itself suggests that system is nothing but this is management system, means this is some software that is going to handle the database. Okay, so database management system is a general purpose software system which is responsible for, क्या responsibilities है? सबसे पहली responsibility है to create the large databases. So creation of large disk resident databases, posing of data retrieval queries in a standard manner. जो भी हमने queries post किए हैं, we want to get the result for the same. A retrieval of query results efficiently, जबकि हमें file systems में manually we have to find out the results. Concurrent use of the system by a large number of users in a consistent manner, guaranteed availability of data irrespective of system. So definitely when there is a software that is handling the complete data, so there is a guarantee of getting the data. So these are the major responsibilities of the database management system. ये जो भी मैं theory discuss कर रही हूँ, see guys, obviously I'll be talking about the complete syllabus of GATE 2024, but जो theory है obviously कोई भी चीज जब आप लर्न करते हो तो उसका ड्रॉबैक नहीं होता है. सो व्हाट आई एम डूइंग इज आई विल बी कवरिंग द थ्योरी एज वेल एज द कॉन्सेप्ट्स. एंड कुछ एग्जाम्स ऐसे हैं जिनमें थ्योरी ज्यादा पूछी जाती है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जो भी अभी हमने कॉन्सेप्ट्स अभी तक मैंने जो भी डिस्कस किया, इट लुक्स लाइक this was the introduction, but still on the basis of this you can expect a question in the exam like UGC नेट, NIC नेट. तो मैंने बहुत बार आप लोगों के साथ ये चीज डिस्कस की है. इफ यू आर डेडिकेटेडली प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर द गेट एग्जाम, दैट मीन्स इनडायरेक्टली यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर मोर एग्जाम्स. ओके, सिर्फ आपकी गेट की प्रिपरेशन नहीं हो रही है, और भी बहुत सारे एग्जाम्स हैं जिनकी आपकी प्रिपरेशन हो रही है. समटाइम्स व्हेन we'll get the time, I'll share the syllabus and we'll do the comparison of the GATE syllabus, NIC NELET, UGC NET, ISRO, DRU. Then you will realize कि क्या similarity है. Okay, what is the importance of preparing for the GATE exam? So in case if you guys are facing any difficulty, then feel free to post that in the group, Telegram group, that is Shefali ma'am Testbook. Also, the benefits of subscribing, joining this group is on the daily basis, you will be getting the PDF of all the YouTube sessions. You can post your doubts and the queries in this Telegram group. You can also directly interact with me, and quiz and polls will also be conducted so that you can keep track of your preparation level. Okay. Link of this group is given in the description box. Check करो. नहीं मिलते just let me know. बाकी सेशन के एंड पे मैं अपनी स्क्रीन शेयर करूंगी, so obviously you'll be able to get that link. All right. So it's very very important कि आप किस तरीके से प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो. अगर सारे कॉन्सेप्ट समझ रहे हो तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी. कुछ स्टूडेंट्स के माइंड में ये होता है कि नो नो वी आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर NIC नेट एग्जाम और फॉर UGC नेट, बट मैम तो गेट के सेशंस ले रहे. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. मैं यूट्यूब पे सिर्फ वो टॉपिक्स उठा रही हूँ. I'll not be dedicatedly taking the syllabus of any particular exam. I'm taking the concepts, I'm taking the topics which are common for 3 to 4 exams. अभी currently NIC NELET का एग्जाम आने वाला है. So what we'll be doing is, first of all, we'll be covering the concepts which can be asked in NELET, Scientist B, UGC NET and GATE. Okay? Any doubt? Alright. अब हमने ये बोला कि डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम के ऊपर वी कैन परफॉर्म द ऑपरेशंस लाइक क्रिएशन ऑफ द टेबल. हमें टेबल क्रिएट करवाना है, टेबल को डिलीट करवाना है. सो वी माइट बी इंटरेस्टेड इन परफॉर्मिंग द ऑपरेशंस ऑन द टेबल लेवल. ओके, सो there are different languages which are going to handle all these operations. So first comes the data definition language, that is popularly known as DDL, data definition language. This means that this helps in, यहाँ पे जो भी आपके पास commands आएंगी, those are responsible for the creation of the table. For example, data definition, it helps in creation. Creation के लिए हमारे पास command होती है create. For modification, we have the command modify. Removal of definitions that define the organization of the data in the database. तो ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ schema के ऊपर काम करते हैं, not on the data which is there in the table. Next is the data updation. डेटा को अपडेट करवाने के लिए हमारे पास लैंग्वेज होती है, दैट इज DML, डेटा मैनिपुलेशन लैंग्वेज. सो बेसिकली इट हेल्प्स इन इंसर्टिंग द डेटा इन द टेबल. अब डेटा मैनिपुलेशन लैंग्वेज में जो भी हम कमांड्स यूज करते हैं, दोज आर वर्किंग एट द डेटा लेवल, नॉट ऑन द टेबल लेवल. सो इट हेल्प्स इन इंसर्शन ऑफ द डेटा, मॉडिफिकेशन ऑफ द डेटा, डिलीशन ऑफ द डेटा in the database. Next is data retrieval. Name itself suggests that अगर आपने data को store करवाया तो obviously you might be interested in retrieving the data as well. So it helps in retrieval of data from the database, which can be used by applications for various purposes. Next is the user administration. यूजर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का काम क्या होता है? टू रजिस्टर एंड मॉनिटर द यूजर्स. कौन से यूजर्स डेटाबेस को एक्सेस कर सकते हैं, व्हाट इज द सिक्योरिटी, परफॉर्मेंस कैसी है. सो एवरीथिंग, एवरी सिंगल थिंग रिलेटेड टू द मैनेजमेंट. कौन से लाइक यू कैन से कौन सी फैसिलिटीज यूजर को देनी है, फॉर एग्जांपल कौन सा एक्सेस देना है. देयर आर फ्यू areas which cannot be accessed by the students in the organization, right? So insert, delete and update DDL commands, sorry, DML. Yes. इंसर्शन, ये जो आपने दीपक कमांड्स लिखे हैं ना, इंसर्शन, डिलीशन एंड अपडेशन, दीज आर द डीएमएल कमांड्स बिकॉज दीज आर डीलिंग विद द डेटा, डेटा को मॉडिफाई कर रहे हैं, ओके। जो डीडीएल कमांड्स होती हैं, दीज आर वर्किंग एट द टेबल लेवल। फॉर एग्जांपल आपको टेबल को ड्रॉप करवाना है, टेबल को डिलीट करवाना है, इंस्टेड ऑफ डिलीटिंग वन रो, सो आई विल बी यूजिंग योर ड्रॉप कमांड। यू गेट इट? या, so this is about the various tasks that a user can perform. Next one is, I guess already we have discussed this. This slide is repeated. So already we have talked about the DBMS, RDBMS. Now next one is the phases of the database design. Database design करने के लिए कौन कौन से phases होते हैं? How we can start with the database design. So database design करने के लिए first of all we need to capture the requirements, कि आपके requirements क्या हैं, what all tables should be a part of your database. So database designing for a real world application starts from capturing the requirements. It's just a software, तो basic steps जो किसी software को develop करने के लिए चाहिए होते हैं, same similar steps are followed for the database design. तो सबसे पहले आपने information gather की. Now on the basis of that, we will be capturing that what all tables should be there, and what will be the relation between the different tables. For example, अगर हम यूनिवर्सिटी मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम की बात कर रहे हैं तो हमारे पास स्टूडेंट्स टेबल आएगा, फैकल्टी टेबल विल बी देयर, कोर्सेज टेबल विल बी देयर, डिपार्टमेंट्स विल बी देयर, लाइक दैट. अब हमें ये मालूम है कि student is somewhere related with the faculty, student is related with the department, particular student is enrolled in which department, and in that department what courses are there, and those courses are taken by which faculty. तो ultimately faculty और student के बीच में भी relation हो गया. So how these relations should be captured, this is all covered under the conceptual design. So the requirements of the database are captured using high level conceptual data model. For example, EI model is used for the conceptual design of the database. Okay, अब जब आपने ये सारी डिजाइनिंग कर ली, आफ्टर दैट देयर कम्स अ पिक्चर वेयर विल गो फॉर द लॉजिकल डिजाइन, जहां पे हम लॉजिकल डिजाइन को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं इन द फॉर्म ऑफ रिलेशनल मॉडल. ER diagram produced in the conceptual design is used to convert the data into the relational model. Relational model is nothing but that is in the form of the tables. After that, physical design. Table यहाँ पे कैसे बनते? ER diagram में you will be getting something like student. Okay. This oval is representing the रिलेशन नेम. अब यहाँ पे स्टूडेंट के एट्रीब्यूट्स क्या क्या हो सकते हैं? दैट इज द स्टूडेंट आईडी, student name, address, like this there are various attributes. But इनको जब हम table format में represent करते हैं, that is known as the logical design. After that, once the table is ready, then finally we'll go for the physical design. In the physical design, actually we are going to implement the relational model which we have obtained in the second step, that is the logical design, implemented by using the commercial DBMS like Oracle, SQL, DB2 and so on. So these are the various phases of the database design. Anyone having any doubt on this point? So this was all related to the introduction to the DBMS. Anyone having any doubt till the introduction? इसके बाद हम लोग start कर रहे हैं RDBMS. Guys, I haven't got the response. Okay, next is relational database management system. Relational database management system means we are storing the data in the form of the tables. Okay, so data in relational databases is stored in different tables, each having a key field that uniquely identifies each row. Because we have said that in RDBMS, it is going to reduce the redundancy because redundancy is responsible for creating the anomalies. So in order to avoid that, we want कि हर एक रो एक्चुअली रो इज representing one student. अगर हम student table की बात कर रहे हैं, then one row is containing the information related to a particular student. So the same data should not be entered into the database. So that's why the concept of keys is used, right? So in relational databases, the relationship between the data files is relational, and the databases connect data in different files by using common data elements or key field. So key field is basically used to search the data in the database. इसके basis पे एक question आ भी चुका है, not in the GATE exam, but that was asked in one of the recent papers of NILET Scientist B. The next one is in relational databases, tables or files are filled with the data. These are known as the relation. For example, if the relation name is student, here we have the attributes like the student name, student IDs, age, address, something like this. So if I'm going to store the information related to one student, for example, the student ID is 1, student name is John, age is 21, and address is something like ABC. Student ID is 2, name is John. We know that two students can have the same name. Also, they may or may not be having the same age. And let's assume that for the second student, we do not know the address. So this is very much possible because we know that two students can have the same name. Two students can have the same age. Two students can have the same address. अगर siblings है तो obviously address भी same हो सकता है. Twins है, class भी same होगी और address भी same होगा. तो यहाँ पे there is one attribute for or which cannot be same for two or more than two students, that is the student ID. So we can say that the student ID is nothing but the key. So this is how we can distinguish between the data of the different entities. Now there are a few columns. तो ये जो columns हैं इनको हम बोलते हैं attributes. These columns are known as attributes, or you can also call this as fields or column. And if we talk about the rows, these are known as the rows or tuples as well. Okay. So there are few terms related to the RDBMS. One is the instances and the schemas. So सबसे पहले जो schema होता है, that is the overall design of the database. That means the relation name along with the attributes of the relation. Just like if I'm writing student, attributes are, we have taken the attributes SID, SName, age, and address. Okay, so this is nothing but this is the schema. यहाँ पे हम data को consider नहीं कर रहे हैं. So schema is just the overall design of the database. That means the structure of the database without any data. Next one is the definition of table names. This is the definition of the database schema. It's the definition of the table name and their fields with data types will be the database schema. Instances, नाम से समझ में आ रहा है. इंस्टेंस का मतलब होता है किसी पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे व्हाट डेटा इज प्रेजेंट इन द database, that is known as the database instance. For example, we can say that this is the database instance. because here I'm considering the structure as well as the database of the data of the database. So the collection of information stored in the database at a particular moment is called the database instance. The data stored in various tables at a particular time, किसी particular time पे जो data available है database में, that is known as the instance of the database. So on the basis of this, you can expect a question. आपको given होगा database instance is, you will be given with the options like the overall design of the database, data at a particular time in the database. So this way, four options will be given, and you have to identify that what is the correct definition for the database instance and the database schema. Is this difference clear to everyone? Yes. So let's move on to a few more terminologies which will be used for RDBMS. First one is the attribute. Right now only we have discussed that attributes are nothing but these are the column names. According to our example, student ID, student name, age, and addresses are the attributes. So each relation is defined in terms of some properties, each of which is known as a attribute. Next is the domain of an attribute. Domain basically बताता है what is the range of the values that can be entered under that attribute. For example, कई बार जब आप account create करते हो, the somewhere it is mentioned that the age should be greater than 18. तो अगर आप वहाँ पे age enter करते हो 15, so it says that this is invalid value. So this means that the domain of the attribute is defined there. So domain is nothing but that's the possible values of an attribute can take in a relation is called the domain. Next one is degree. ये सारी की सारी terms important है. You can expect the question. I don't think कि GATE में इसका question आएगा, but in other exams, especially in the NILET Scientist B and UGC NET, you can expect, क्योंकि ये कुछ ऐसे exams हैं जिनमें theory भी equally important होती है. GATE में भी it's important, but theoretical questions काफी कम होते हैं as compared to the conceptual questions. Next is the degree. Degree is the number of attributes in the relation. For example, जो अभी हमने student relation लिया उसमें हमने 4 attributes लिए थे, so we can say that the degree of the student relation was 4. Next one is the cardinality. The number of tuples in a relation is known as the cardinality. For example, जो अभी हमने instance लिया था, in that the number of tuples were 2, so we can say that the cardinality of that relation was 2. Degree of the relation was 4. जो भी मैंने यहाँ पे values ली हैं, again I'm referring to the table that we have considered for our understanding. Next one is the tuple. We know that tuples are nothing but these are the rows of a relation. And null value, sometimes there is a point when we do not know the value while filling the information. For example, आप किसी office में गए हो and they are asking that what is your passport number. We do not use our passport frequently. So in that case, what we say that I do have the passport, but I do not know the value right now. That is one scenario. Other scenario is I don't have the passport, right? अब जरूरी तो नहीं है कि passport is not that important document for us. Passport कब चाहिए? When you want to travel internationally. Otherwise, it's not required, right? There are other identities that we can use for the identification purpose. तो null value होती है कुछ value जो उस time पे हमें नहीं पता, which is missing, which is unknown. Unknown means उस time पे नहीं पता, missing means that does not exist या फिर define ही नहीं कर सकते. So these are all these values are represented by the null value. Next one, relational model. So relational model means this represents that how data is stored in the relational databases. Relational model was actually proposed by Dr. E.F. Cord. Dr. E.F. Cord is also known as the father of the relational database management system. So he defined few rules that we need to follow for using the relational model. After designing the conceptual model of the database design using the ER diagram, जब आपके पास ER diagram available है, then we have to go for the designing of the tables. So we need to convert the conceptual model in the relational model. Conceptual model से हम ER diagram से किस पे आएंगे? Tables पे, and that is known as the relational model, which can be implemented by using any DBMS language. Already we have discussed this point. So in our syllabus, we have three languages. One is the SQL. We'll be talking about the concepts of the relational algebra. Along with this, we'll be covering the concepts of relational calculus as well. Okay. Next one. There are few constraints in the relational model. So these constraints are checked before performing any operation. Operation can be basic operations के अगर हम बात करते हैं, so the basic operations are like insertion, deletion and updation in the database. So if there is any violation of the constraint, operation will be performed. अगर कोई भी rule follow नहीं हुआ, then that operation will not be performed. So domain constraints means these are the attribute level constraint, यानी कि आपने एक attribute की range decide कर दी कि इस particular attribute के अंदर इसी range में values आ सकती हैं. So that's why domain constraints are known as the attribute level constraints. An attribute can only take values which lie inside the domain range, यानी कि उस particular attribute में वही values आ सकती हैं जो defined range के अंदर आ रही हैं. I hope that you guys are not rushing for noting down the points that I'm discussing. क्योंकि बच्चे जब हम थ्योरी की बात करते हैं तो 1 मिनट में मैं काफी ज्यादा थ्योरी कवर कर देती हूँ, तो इट्स क्वाइट इम्पॉसिबल टू नोट डाउन ईच एंड एवरी पॉइंट. अब पॉइंट याद है कि मैम ये नोट्स कैसे मिलेंगे, मैंने ऑलरेडी आपको बताया हुआ है कि अगर आपने टेलीग्राम ग्रुप ज्वाइन किया हुआ है, यू विल गेट दिस पीडीएफ. ओके, यू कैन टेक आउट द प्रिंट आउट. ओके, पीडीएफ फॉर्मेट में अवेलेबल होगा. आपको बाद में नोट करना है, आप नोट कर सकते हो. पीडीएफ का प्रिंट आउट लेना है, यू कैन ऑल्सो टेक आउट द प्रिंट आउट. आई गेस दैट इज द बेटर ऑप्शन बिकॉज इट विल हेल्प यू टू सेव योर टाइम. जितना टाइम आप चीजों को लिखने में लगाओगे, उतने टाइम में आप क्वेश्चंस कर लोगे, और यू कैन रीड the content from other sources as well. Okay, so please don't focus on writing, just focus on understanding the concepts. That's more important. Next one is key integrity. Key integrity means there should be a key available in the relation so that we can uniquely identify each tuple of a relation. The basic idea behind this is we want to restrict the redundancy. We want that the same information should not be entered multiple times in the database. So key integrity, every relation in the database should have at least one set of attributes which defines tuple uniquely. हर tuple को uniquely identify करना है. So those set of attributes are known as the key. Key is very important concept. We have learned the concept of the keys, like we do have the candidate key, super key, primary key, alternate key, foreign key. These are on the basis of the operations and the properties, and on the basis of the number of attributes, we have the simple key and the compound key, or you can also call that as the composite key. So a key has two properties. First one is key में हमने क्या बोला है, for what purpose are we using this key? Can somebody tell me that for what purpose are we going to use the key? Anyone? Let's see how many people are attentively attending the session. Come on, guys. So basically, key is used to uniquely determine each tuple of a relation. Okay, so key has two properties. पहली property क्या आ गई? Uniqueness. So it should be unique for all the tuples. It cannot have the null values. This is especially the constraint for the primary key. Next one is the referential integrity. So basically, these referential integrity constraints are used when we are talking about the foreign key concept. That means one attribute is referring to the values of other attributes of a relation, and that attribute should be a primary key of that relation. So referential integrity is when one attribute referential ये term कहाँ से आई है? From the term refer. So this means that it is referring to the values of some other attribute of a relation. So when one attribute of a relation can only take the values from other attribute of the same relation or the different relation, then that is known as the referential integrity. Okay, so these are few constraints of the relational model. Now next is the anomalies. We have already talked about the anomalies. So we have insertion anomaly. That means when on inserting the value, we are getting the error, that is the insertion anomaly. If on the operations like deletion and updation, it's creating a problem, or your database is entering into the inconsistent state, so that is known as the deletion or the updation anomaly. So I have used here the terms referencing relation and the reference relation. Basically, these are the terms related to the foreign key concept. So let's put this on hold for another 10 to 15 minutes. Let me cover the concept of the foreign key. Then we'll be having the better understanding that what is a referencing relation and what is a reference relation. ये टर्म सेम नहीं है, कई बार ऐसा लगता है कि these are the same terms और मैम ने शायद टाइपिंग मिस्टेक कर दी. No, we have the referencing relation. Referencing means जो रिलेशन किसी और टेबल को रेफर कर रहा है ना. तो यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा माइन्यूट डिटेल्स में जाएंगे इंग्लिश ग्रामर की. सो रेफरेंसिंग मींस दैट इज रेफरिंग टू सम अदर रिलेशन. रेफरेंस्ड रिलेशन मींस which is referred by some relation, or you can say that that is the parent table. Okay, ये इंसर्शन और डिलीशन अनोमलीज कैसे आती हैं, विल टॉक अबाउट दिस बाय टेकिंग द एग्जांपल व्हेन विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ द फॉरेन की. So let's talk about the categories of the keys. So on the basis of the number of attributes, categories on the basis of number of attributes, and on the basis of the properties. So here we have the simple key. Next we have the compound key. Basically, simple key is containing a single attribute. This is composed of the single attribute, and here we have multiple attributes. Next one is the properties. So on the basis of the properties, we have the candidate key, we have super keys, primary key, alternate key, and foreign key. Okay, can somebody tell me the difference between the candidate key and the super key? Very, very important. On the basis of this, we have got many questions in the GATE exam as well as in NELET Scientist B, in UGC NET, in ISRO. So what is the difference between the candidate key and the super key? Basically, we start from the basic key, that is the candidate key. This says that, so already we have discussed there are 5 types of keys in the relational model. So first one is the candidate key. Candidate key is nothing but this is the minimal set of attributes that can uniquely determine all the tuples of a relation. अगर एक attribute, for example, on the basis of the student ID, we are able to find out, we can uniquely identify the student, then student ID के साथ student name मिलकर भी uniquely identify करेगा. But student ID and student name will be the super key because that's the superset of the candidate key. So candidate key means कम से कम कौन से attributes है which are required to uniquely identify each tuple of a relation, that is a candidate key. The value of candidate key is always unique and this is not null. It can be more than, there can be more than one candidate key for a relation, but there is exactly one primary key for a relation. So very important point, there can be more than one candidate key in a relation. The candidate key can be simple. Simple means having only one attribute, or it can be composite. Composite means having multiple attributes. Having मल्टीपल एट्रीब्यूट्स. तो जो आपके पास कैंडिडेट की है वो एक सिंगल एट्रीब्यूट से भी बन सकती है और मल्टीपल एट्रीब्यूट से भी बन सकती है. ओके, so this is about the candidate key. Next is the super key. Okay, let's take here the example. For example, जो हमने example consider किया था, according to that, student ID is the candidate key. Because only on the basis of the student ID we can uniquely identify a student from the relation. Super key is when we are taking the superset. Superset means candidate key के साथ आप zero or more tuples, more attributes can be taken. So adding zero or more attributes to the candidate key generates a super key. For example, if the candidate key is the student ID, we have considered a relation student in which we have the attributes student ID, student name, age of a student, and address. So if candidate key is student ID, so we can say that super key. How many super keys are possible? Super key will be, if I don't want to add any attribute along with the candidate key, so super key will be student ID. I might be taking the student ID and I'm adding here one attribute, that is the student name. I might be taking student ID and age, student ID and address, student ID, student name and age. I'm taking here. I'm adding two attributes. So like this, we can find out the super keys. Okay, so this is the meaning of this line. Adding zero or more attributes to the candidate key generates the super key. Basically, how we are getting this, if on the basis of this, I want to find out the super keys, number of super keys, generally जो आपके पास question आता है, one question is asked, one type of question that can be asked is on the basis of the number of super keys. So in this case, how many super keys will be there? We know that if candidate key is student ID, तो जितनी भी हम super keys लेंगे सब में student ID तो mandatory है, right? Student ID is mandatory. So there is only one way to fill, there is only one option to take this attribute, that is it's the mandatory attribute. Then student name. There are few super keys where student name is present, कहीं कहीं पे present नहीं है, तो student name आ भी सकते हैं super key में और नहीं भी आ सकता. That means there are two possible ways to fill, to take student name. Similarly, age may or may not be a part of the super key. Address may or may not be a part of the super key. So number of super keys will be 1 into 2 into 2 into 2. That means in total there will be 8 super keys. That is nothing but that is 2 raised to power 3. Or I can write this as 2 raised to power 4 minus 1. ये क्यों लिखा है? Because in the original relation R, we have 4 attributes, but out of which one attribute is mandatory. बाकी की positions को fill करने के लिए we have two ways. So that's why I'm writing this as 2 raised to power 4 minus 1. This is one of the very important concept. That is, you will be given with the relation and the candidate key, and you'll be supposed to find out to return the number of super keys. Okay. So we can say that every candidate की जो भी candidate की होगी वो super key होगी ही होगी, because in super key we are saying that we are adding zero or more attributes to the candidate की. अगर zero attribute add करे then also it's a super key. But every super key is a candidate key. For example, SID, SNAME is a super key. Can I say that this is a candidate key? No, because in candidate key, we have said that it should contain the minimum number of attributes to determine all the attributes of a relation uniquely. Make sense? So this is a note. A candidate key is a super key. हर एक candidate की super key तो होगी ही होगी, but vice versa is not true. Make sense? जितने भी notes हैं, those who are attending my session for the first time, guys, whatever important points are there which can be asked in true or false, so I'll be providing those points under the notes section. Notes section means these are the important points that you have to take care. All right. So here are some practice questions. This is the first one. Let R be the relational schema with n attributes. कोई schema है जिसमें n attributes है. कौन से attributes है? This is A1. Like we had student ID, student name, and age, and so on up to AN. So this is the relational schema. How many super keys are possible with the candidate key A1? That means we are given with one candidate key, and this is a simple candidate key क्योंकि जो candidate key बनी है आपके पास वो एक ही attribute से बनी. So I want you to return the number of super keys. कैसे find करना है? Already we have discussed that point. Just write the count in the chat section that how many super keys are possible if A1 is a candidate key. The relation R is having n attributes starting from A1 to AN. We'll be covering the different types of examples. हो सकता है कुछ students हैं जिन्होंने ये session attend किया हुआ है, but that's okay. Only one or two topics you had covered. बाकी सब हम इस series के अंदर cover करेंगे. So quickly return the number of super keys. Here A1 is a candidate key. You can take the attributes. So here we are given with the attributes like A1, A2, A3, A4, and so on up to AN. So if we take out the values, A1 को fill करने के लिए कितनी options है? Since it's a candidate key, so we need to take A1 at least. So there is only one way to take A1. Next is A2. A2 may or may not be a part of the super key, so there are two ways. For A3, there are two ways. For A4, there are two ways. For AN, there are two ways. That means except for one attribute, in total we had n attributes. So except for one attribute, बाकी जितने भी attributes है A1 को छोड़कर बाकी जितने भी attributes है सारे attributes को fill करने के लिए कितनी options है? Two options. 2 into 2 into 2, how many times? N minus 1 times. So basically this comes out to be 2 raised to power n minus 1. Minus 1 क्यों कर रहे हैं? Because only one attribute is there, which is the mandatory attribute. So number of super keys are 2 raised to power n minus 1. Make sense? Next one. Candidate keys with A1. So this is one candidate key. This is another candidate key. So number of super keys with A1 कितनी super keys आएंगी? It will be 2 raised to power n minus 1. We have already calculated this. Similarly, number of super keys with candidate key A2. A2 means only A2 is mandatory. So remaining attributes may or may not be taken. That comes out to be 2 raised to power n minus 1. So total number of super keys, total number of super keys will be equal to 2 raised to power n minus 1 plus 2 raised to power n minus 1. Should I stop here? No, because when A1 is a candidate key, we might be getting the keys as A1, A2, A1, A3, A1, A2, A3. Like this, there are various options. Similarly, when we have to find out the super keys when A2 is a candidate key, then we'll be getting the super keys as A2, A2, A1. So यहाँ पे order of attributes doesn't matter. Anyhow, this is A1, A2 or A2, A1. One and same thing, A1, A2, A3, A1, A2, A3. Now, if you have observed, जब हम इन दोनों का sum ले रहे हैं, so what is happening? We are counting, and this white circle is representing the super keys when A2 is a candidate key. But there is a portion which is covered by A1 and A2. Right? This is the common portion of A1 and A2. A1, A2 के साथ कितने combinations बनेंगे? With A1, A2, A1, A2 दोनों आने चाहिए. This means that 2 raised to power A1, A2 के लिए एक ही possibility है. Remaining attributes are total n attributes थे, दो निकल गए. Then it comes out to be n minus 2. So these are the number of keys which are counted twice. So we need to subtract it once. दो बार count हुए तो एक बार के लिए हम इसे subtract कर देंगे. So this is representing the total number of super keys when A1, A2 is a super key. Is this clear? Yes. Next one. Only the candidate key. Now here we are given with the composite key. This is key 1. This is candidate key 2. Return the number of super keys. With A1, A2 as a candidate key, 2 attributes are mandatory. 2 attributes को n में से निकाल दो, बाकी सबके लिए 2 possibilities are there. A3, A4, again, A3, A4 are mandatory. Out of n attributes, we'll subtract 2. बाकी सबके लिए 2 possibilities हैं. But there are few. This is the set of the super keys when A1, A2 is a candidate key. There is a set of the super keys when A3, A4 is a candidate key. So this is the shaded portion जहाँ पे ये चारों attributes आ रहे हैं. So this is 2 raised to power n minus 4, right? 4 attributes are common here. So this comes out to be जहाँ पे ये चारों attributes आएंगे वो वाली keys आपके पास दो बार count हुई है. So n minus 4. So these are the number of super keys. Next one are the candidate keys. Here we are given with the composite attribute, composite attribute. दोनों examples में difference के जो first example थी उसमें मैंने सारे attributes different लिए थे. यहाँ पे आपके पास repeated attribute भी आ रहा है, that is A2. So this will be giving you 2 raised to power n minus 2. दो attributes आए. This is also going to give you 2 raised to power n minus 2. But when we are taking the common attribute, this is A1, A2. In the second set, we have A2 and A3. How many attributes are distinct attributes are there? That is A1, A2, A3. This is the common part. So here, number of super keys are 2 raised to power n minus 2 plus 2 raised to power n minus 2 minus यहाँ पे distinct attributes कौन से जो दोनों में cover हो सकते हैं, that is A1, A2 and A3. 3 attributes are there. So 2 raised to power n minus 3. Make sense? I'm really very disappointed with your response in today's session because very few people are interacting. I hope that this concept is clear. So let's discuss one question that was asked in one of the exam. I guess this was asked in NILIT Scientist B as well as in DRDU. So you are given with the relation R with five attributes A, B, C, D, E. How many candidate keys? Sorry, there are two candidate keys given. One is the simple key, simple candidate key, and other one is the composite candidate key. How many super keys are possible? Can you please return the count? So number of super keys will be, here we have only one attribute, so it will be 2 raised to power n minus 1. Two attributes are there plus 2 raised to power n minus 2, and common attributes kitne honge? 3, so 2 raised to power n minus 3. Where in this case n is equal to, here we are given that n is equal to 5. Or you can directly write here 2 raised to power 5 minus 1 plus 2 raised to power 5 minus 2 minus 2 raised to power 5 minus 3. So this comes out to be 2 raised to power 4 plus 2 raised to power 3 minus 2 raised to power 2. That is 16 plus 8 minus 4. That comes out to be 20. So 20 is the correct answer for this question. Okay, so this is about the candidate key and the super key. I hope that till this point it's clear to everyone. So we'll continue with the set of keys and attribute and its applications in tomorrow's session. अभी के लिए इतना revise करो, okay? And we'll continue our discussion in tomorrow's session. So those who are new on this platform, so guys, we have an official Telegram group, that is Shefali Ma'am Testbook. So you can join this group to get the daily PDF of all the YouTube sessions, to ask your queries. You can directly interact with me, and you can also participate in the quizzes and the polls. Okay, let me show you how you can join this group. So let me share my screen with you. Okay, so when you click on the link, you will be taken to this page. So this is the video going on. Here, if you see, the very first link is for the masterclass. That is to join the masterclass. And after that, next is the link for the super coaching, that is for NIC, and next is the link for the Telegram group. तो ये link है आपके पास Telegram group का, you can join this link. And next one is super coaching gate. So if you want to get the complete course and the study notes, detailed notes of all the subjects, all the topics, and the formula notes, everything, mock test, test series, PYQs. So for that, you can get the subscription for the super coaching. In the super coaching, 10 plus gate CSE courses are available by the super teachers. So here there are three tabs. One is the all courses, full course, and subject course. So I'm taking the full courses. If you see here under the full courses provided by the gate forum, you can see the ratings as well. तो किसी भी कोर्स की रेटिंग आपके पास 4.5 के ऊपर नहीं होगी, जबकि we have thousands of students enrolled, so it's really challenging to maintain the rating above 4.5. So Gate Forum and Digimento, complete course by Digimento, you can see the ratings, okay? And NEEF, and next is complete course preparation by me and my team. So in this 250 plus videos are there, and the overall rating is 4.9 out of 5. So you can see that. So when you click on the full course, you will be taken to the complete course page. And apart from that, you can look at the profiles of the super teachers. Already I have discussed about myself. You can also see the demo classes, so that कि जब आप demo classes attend करते हो ना, आपको एक confidence मिल जाता है. तो ये सारी जो classes हैं, these are available. So when you join these classes, you get the confidence whether you are able to understand the concepts, what is the teaching style of the faculties, ताकि सब्सक्रिप्शन लेते हुए ये नहीं लगे कि आप पता नहीं कहाँ पे पैसे फेंक रहे हो. सो ट्रस्ट मी, आपको काफी बेनिफिट होगा, एंड you'll be like this was your good investment. Okay, you can join the live series. You can see the schedule of the live series, mock test, study notes. uh, in the study notes we have the complete study notes. 59 plus PDF notes are there. तो डिटेल नोट्स हैं. जनरल मैथमेटिक्स के लिए सेपरेट PDF फाइल्स है, जनरल एप्टीट्यूड के लिए सेपरेट फाइल्स आर देयर, एंड फॉर्मुला notes, these are the short notes which are very very helpful and useful when you are revising the subjects 1 or 2 days ahead of your exam. So you can go for the, okay. So this is about the course, and you can apply here the coupon that is also given in the description box, that is Shefali S. Okay, then only you will be getting these courses at the discounted price. Okay, anyone having any doubt? So just go through the website so that you get more clarity. Anyone having any query? Because this is all from my side. I'm going to end this session. So if you have any doubt or query, please write that in the chat section. और अगर आपकी query थोड़ी सी lengthy है and you are writing, just give me some indication that you are typing in the chat section so that I can wait for a minute. Otherwise, I'll end this discussion. So tomorrow, first of all, we'll cover the pending concept of the keys, and after that, we'll start with the concept of the attribute closer and its applications. Okay. So basically, in our syllabus, we have 5 applications of the attribute closer which are asked in the exam. So these all applications will be discussed in tomorrow's session. If you have any doubt or query, please write that in the chat section. This is all from my side. I guess there is no query. So thank you so much, guys. This is all. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Most probably from tomorrow onwards, we'll be having the master classes as well, because already हमने concepts cover करने शुरू कर दिए हैं. So the idea is we will be learning the concepts in the YouTube sessions, and we will be solving the questions. We will be discussing the previous year questions in the master classes. जो लोग नेलेट के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं, बेटा मैंने आपको बोला था कि गेट के भी सारे प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस कवर करना, बिकॉज आई हैड गिवन यू अ प्रूफ मेनी अ टाइम्स दैट प्रीवियस ईयर गेट क्वेश्चंस आर straightway asked in the NELET scientist B exam. So it's going to work as a good set of important questions for you guys. Okay, usually हम competitive exams में guess नहीं कर सकते, but यहाँ पे हम ये बोल सकते हैं कि we can predict, we can make a guess of the important questions. Obviously not 100%, but कुछ questions होंगे जो अभी हम इन master classes में जो हम आज या कल से start करें, इनमें से आपको straight away questions आपको NELET exam और ISRO exam में मिल सकते हैं. So don't miss these sessions. Take care. God bless you. Thank you.